This is going to be part 2 of the Kerbal Let's Play. Well, Kerbal Space Program Let's Play. I still can't talk. I do apologize for that. So, after the prior flight's um, failure, is what I will decide to call it. It does appear, though, it did give me science, or instead of having like 18 something, I have 21 now. So you get science from failing. I like that. That may afford me to be able to purchase other things. I think what I am going to go for is better rockets. Uh, do you know that I issue I had with the last launch was a lack of control? To fix that, I'm going to hopefully be able to use the thrust vectoring of the nozzles, or pretty much use the engine doing stuff to be able to control it better this time. Hopefully. I am going to go ahead and make it from scratch again, though. Go ahead, quickly throw together uh, everything. So, command module, parachute, some guest mystery goo. Again, I'll go with 2 of them. I'm going to go with 2 thermometers as well, and 2 barometers, or Presmat barometer. As before as well, I'm going to go ahead and go with the heat shield and decoupling. And since we have a new parts, I do not have to use the small fuel tanks anymore. And let's see, I am going to go with the swivel engine, as it will vector or change where it's pointing, and use that to be able to control as to whereabouts I am going. I'm going to have this be the upper stage, and then need to build a launch stage. This time, as opposed to going with the solid fuel thrusters as it did the prior, I am going to go with liquid fuel. And I have no idea if this is even going to be able to get off the ground or not, but I have my hopes. It would be nice if it did. Do I have any radial decoupling? No, so I can't attach things on the side. And let's see if this will work. Okay, so do not know how to copy paste things. That is awesome. Again, I'm going to go with 4 again, or a total of 5 engines on my launch stage. And to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure I'll even be able to get off the ground with this, but I shall try. And so with more of these swivel engines. And so do not have anything as far as a nose cone would go. But let's make sure I got all my staging right. So I want the cluster fortifier at the same time as the main engine decouple. At the same time it decouples, I would like the upper stage engine to fire, decouple, and parachute. So looks like I got all that right now. Oh, cannot support vessels over 30 parts. Well then, I wonder if I go with, say, 2. If it'll let me launch then. And launch. Nope, still not gonna let me. What about if I get rid of you? So, making it shorter. I wish I knew where the part counter was so I could see how many parts I have used. Cost, research. Let's see, what are these? What does you do? Don't know what that is. Engineering report starts at 39. Oh, just hatch obstructed. Sign, weight, mass, contacts. So, you've used 29 out of 30 parts, it appears. Okay. Monopropellant resources. Unused monopropellant. Whereabouts is this mono-repellent? It's in the command. I am going to get that off as we'll not be needing it. It is not needed. We'll not be using it, so it is not needed. And am I going to tip over? I don't know. I wanted to take pressure data from the launch pad as well as temperature from the launch pad. And mystery view from just above the launch pad. And this is much better in terms of being able to control it than my last flight, where it's not just going where it wants. I actually do have some sort of say as to where it is. I'm going to throttle back a little bit this time. Make sure that I won't use up all of my fuel too quickly. Do you think this is going to be a bit of a better launch? I know it's not the most optimal, but oh well. And I'm going to throttle up again to the most I can. I have a feeling that I'm probably too far over. It has not exploded yet, which is always a good thing, I would say. And I think I have two different types of engines. Why is my middle engine not firing? Oh, I had another engine I could have been firing, and I didn't because of the saging was wrong. Awesome. Now, are they going to run out of fuel at the same time or not? They still are. Okay, don't know how that works. And let us slow down a little bit and start firing more horizontally. We're probably not that steep yet. How's the map? How far out am I want to go? So far I am out of the atmosphere. So I will at least go on a suborbital flight. And observe another mystery view, this time from the upper atmosphere. And as we have already observed, I should say, or used one, and actually that would not have counted. I should probably reset that. What I'm trying to say is that once a piece of equipment is used, or at least in the configuration that I have, there is ways that you can reset things and keep the data, but you could only use things once. So on the ship, and you get the science for that one thing. Then once you return it to Earth, you get the most science, or most valuable science, or the most... I cannot talk again. You get the most science for the first time you turn it back, then there's diminishing returns. You'll get less science for the second time, third, and so forth. And we are now in space, so I will go ahead, observe the mystery view here, keep it, and take the pressure data, keep it, and I should have a thermometer as well. And let's see what the temperature says. And that was the one I'd already used. Let's try the other one. And collected and recorded data from the environment. I'm not too sure how recording temperature in space goes, but let's just go with it. And since I crashed the last time as well, I'll take another crew report and keep the science too. And now we just kind of float here. Again, I want to go ahead and separate the upper stage and go ahead and face retrograde. or opposite direction of where I'm going. And to make it a little bit quicker, I will go ahead and time warp. Let's see how I did. So out to 199,000 meters, which is over 100,000 meters more than what I needed. And more worrying, I'm going to be coming back into the atmosphere at a rather steep angle, so that might not be good. I will be sure, though, this time to actually open the parachute before needed to, or before, well, open the parachute uh, earlier and hopefully not crash. Again, sorry with the whole not being able to talk thing. I know I've said that like 5 times, and you're probably like, I don't care, shut up. Or you really suck. It's probably the whole you really suck. Looks like this time we're going to be landing in the dark as well, which is okay. I am going to time warp a little bit, or a little lot, 4 times. Make it a bit quicker. And we are on fire, or our exterior is. And try and keep. Oh, the mystery goo is overheating. That is certainly not good. Please do not blow up. Please do not blow up. That would not be good. Are they going to blow up? Am I going to be able to slow down to open the parachutes without them being ripped off? Well, looks like they're cooling down. That is good. And I have slowed it down a lot. And we should be good. And we're still falling, and this time at about 5,000 feet is when I will open the parachute, which should be more than enough time to hopefully this time save us from killing off our astronaut or Kerbonaut or Kerbal, whatever you would like to call them, and not die and crash in the ocean again, as typically that is not a very good thing. Almost there to open it, and close enough. And it's open. Is it going to open in time? Please do. Why isn't it opening? Why isn't it opening? This might not be good. Oh, there he goes. And we just come to a near instant stop, and we're floating down. Is there anything else I can get? Review data. So that's been used, that's been used. That's been used, and that's been used as well. And obviously the mystery goo has as well been used, as the containers are obviously open. And just falling down slowly here. And we're still falling, and I think I want to speed it up a little bit, make it be a little bit quicker. Do not want to speed it up too much. I know with prior version of games, if you do things like impacting or making contact with something and warping time, then bad things happen. So let's recover the vessel. This time we did not kill our people. That is good. And through that we earned 50 science to bring us to a total of 52. Hopefully there's a lot we'd be able to get with that. And let's see. For those interested, here is a breakdown of what we got for the science. The amount of money we got back from our parts and our crew member, who thankfully actually lived this time. Now let's see. Active, so we still need to orbit, and we should be able to get one more contract. You can upgrade the buildings at the level of the building that we have right now. I can only have 2 active contracts or missions at a time. And let's see. Focus and sorry, I'm just reading. See what I would like to do. Haul a stack decoupler into suborbital trajectory. I should be able to do that. TR-18A is which one it is. We'll go ahead and buy the stability, which would give me a radial decoupler so I can detach things off the side of it. Fine, we have a nose cone and a winglet. And what would I like next? How much do I have? 35. Can I get anything with 35? My assumption is going to be no. Does not look like I can. Now, what I'm going to do is... Oh, I cannot upgrade the launch facility. This is going to make it a bit interesting, because I need more money. And let's see, coupling, TR-18A, so the TR-18A would be this stack decoupler, or that decoupler. I have an idea as to a way to hopefully get us into orbit, and that of course is using very big engines. And I messed up and did not turn on the symmetrical mode where it'll be on both sides at the same time. Awesome. And let's go with aerodynamics where I imagine the nose cone is, and it is. And is there... Let's see if I could figure out a way to... Nope. So my fear as to what is going to happen is the 2 giant engines that I just added is going to, in essence, break by not being secured well enough to the main body of the aircraft or the spaceship. I want to go with 4 and just see what happens. That is 3. I can count. That would be 4. And let's make sure we have all of our staging right. Everything firing when we would like them to. And that looks good. And let's launch. Can't support vessels over 30 parts. How many parts is it? 31. Darn. Looks like we are going to go with 3 after all. There we go. Now, we can add 2 more parts. I think I will leave it as is. And launch. I have a feeling that this is probably going to fail very, very badly. Let me fix the staging real quick. And launch. And we're going up. That is always a good sign. I'm going to throttle down slightly the inboardmost engine. And I am rotating. I should have probably used some sort of fin or some other way to control the direction as to where I am going. Well, it looks like they are out, some fire up, and they exploded. Fortunately, they did not kill me, as I suppose that would be bad. And I'm going way too fast. Let's see, how am I doing as far as the apoapsis goes? 103. So, I might actually be able to get this into orbit. I am going to go ahead and throttle down or completely turn off the engine, wait until I get higher. Once I get higher or further out of the atmosphere, burn horizontally. That way I will go sideways as fast as I'm falling down and hopefully be put into an orbit. I should have enough to get into orbit. Am I going to be able to make it back though? Hopefully. And let's go ahead, since we are now in space, start burning horizontally. And what I want to go ahead and do is use the map view to be able to see just how high or how much of an orbit I want to be within. I am burning currently towards back down towards Kerbin or the Earth within the game. That's because I am trying to get my periapsis, or the lowest point in the orbit, which would somewhere be within Kerbin, as low as I possibly can. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it though. It's going to be close. Maybe. Aha! Oh, awesome. Okay, looks like I am within an orbit. The lowest point of my orbit is 94,000 meters. The highest point is 141,000 meters. The atmosphere stops at 70. So I am in space the entire way around. I think I'm in an orbit. Let's see. Electrical charge is doing good. So I'm just going to go around in a circle once because I can. Might as well. It's your first orbital flight, and I'm going to go in a orbit. Hopefully I don't crash again. That would kind of suck. For those of wondering what the green line is, what I believe it is for unmanned vehicles. Has to have a communication link with the ground to be able to control it. And the green line would be showing the communication link. Or there's a station or point right here, which right there is actually the Kerbal Space Station, that'd be able to communicate. So you'd be able to then use unmanned vehicles or not Kerbal. I, however, have a pilot, so I can just use that. I am going to get all the science I can, hopefully be able to buy some more stuff, and then return back to Kerbal. And yes, I know I'm taking a lot of the same thing, but there'll be plenty of time later to come back or take science from other locations. Now, how to get back? Simple. You just burn retrograde or burn the opposite way that you are going. I'm going to use the map view of this, and if you want to be most efficient, you would want to do that at the highest point of your orbit or at the apoapsis. So I am going to just kind of chill out here and wait to get around to the apoapsis, or highest point within the orbit, and bring down the lowest point back within the atmosphere. So I will then slow down and hopefully not burn, because burning, I would imagine, would be rather unpleasant at best. And let's see. And I brought it a bit too far into the atmosphere. What I am hoping for is my lowest point to be about 20,000 feet. That way it's within the atmosphere. However, I would not come slamming down into the side of the Earth or Kerbal. And I'm just going to time warp a little bit until we get closer to the point that we would be back within the atmosphere. Make it go hopefully a little bit quicker. And again, I am going to go ahead, detach the lower stage, hopefully be able to find retrograde. You can tell it's retrograde by the X in the middle. So the little yellow circle with the 3 lines and the X in the middle would be the pointing the opposite direction as to where you are going. And now we wait. Make it go a bit quicker. I am going to go ahead time warp. And this is probably going to be the boring part of the video of just kind of flying through. Woohoo. That and the distance is our upper stage, or the part that I just detached not that long ago. That is it flying off. I do not think it's going to be able to make it, as it has no parachutes or anything. It's probably just going to crash. Or burn. And let's see how the heat shield is doing. This ablator number, you do not want that to hit 0. Once that hits 0, then your heat shield's been burned off and you're screwed. And that is not something that I would like to have happen to me, though I find it very unlikely that it would. And I'm going to be possibly over a mountain range. Not a very ideal spot to come back. But it'll do. I will just be sure to open the parachute at a much higher altitude and not crash and kill another pilot. And I'll go ahead and fast forward through the me burning up part. I'm slowing, and let's see. Still not slow enough to open up the parachute, so let's go forward again. Now it is safe, since it is very hard to tell how much altitude is actually left. I'm going to go ahead and deploy it now, and hopefully not die. And we're just kind of hanging there, and it'd be a lot more interesting, I bet, if I wasn't so boring. Is also if I could edit this, because I'm still doing everything in just one long take. And falling down and down and down, and there's my shadow. Is the parachute going to open all the way so I don't die? Looks like it is. That is always good. And I will time warp a bit more, and I lost track of my shadow. Is how I'd be able to tell how far up I am. And because I do not want to be time warping when it makes contact with the ground, I'm going to go ahead and stop time warping. And my heat shield blew up. For a second there, I was thinking, holy crap, there went my spaceship. Fortunately, that wasn't the case. I'm going to go ahead and recover it, and let's see what I got. I got 12 science. Awesome. Art. Crew. A little bit more. And this is where I am going to go ahead and end this part.